Got Steve Merrill on the line from Wager Talk. Head on over to wagertalk.com. Check out Steve's selections, also his money management plan. And we check out week 5 lines. And right here on the USC channel, we've got the Trojans coming up against their first difficult test last weekend, and they survived it in Corvallis against Oregon State. Going on the road, taking on or at home against Arizona State as a 26.5-point favorite, Steve.
Yeah, it was interesting. I actually had a best bet for my clients last week on Oregon State plus the 5.5. So I considered it a win. I almost feel like it was a loss for USC. But like you said, Mark, more importantly for USC Trojan fans, it was not a loss. It was a straight-up win, 17-14. And I don't discount USC any because they only won that game and failed to cover. Because like I said, I thought Oregon State had a real good shot at the outright win. I thought they were a live dog, and we cashed that as a best bet for my clients at wagertalk.com. Had they lost the game outright, though, I'd be very cautious with USC this week because those are the type of losses that can linger, especially as a big favorite. But the thing is, they didn't lose the game. So even though I won the bet on Oregon State, USC still came out with a straight-up win. They're still playing for a national title. And it's funny, we've done a few different videos on different channels here. We've talked about Clemson, NC State. We talked about Michigan, Iowa. And I mentioned that early in the season, Clemson was kind of my sleeper 4th seed in the playoffs. Everyone has, Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia penciled in. But I mentioned in the Michigan video, I really think Michigan's going to be that 4th team right now. With that said, though, USC still has a really good shot of sneaking in. And that win last week at Oregon State, although not pretty, came from behind to do it, keeps them alive. And I think there'll be some momentum from that. First of all, my power ratings favor them by 29 points in this game, so there is actually some line value at the current number, which is around that 25.5 range. And it opened as low as 23.5, so we did see a little bit of early money coming on USC in the betting markets. And once again, I think that's because, at least according to my power ratings, the point spread is too low still. It should be around 29. One thing that does concern me with USC, though, is they're kind of priced to perfection. They have yet to turn the ball over this year in 4 games, and at some point that's going to change. Arizona State, obviously, with the Herm Edwards mess, they're going through some real distractions right now. They've gone 0-3 straight up in ATS the last 3 weeks against the 3 FBS Division 1A opponents they faced. One thing about Arizona State, they've gone under in all 4 games this season. They're obviously having some big offensive problems. They've scored 21 or less in all 3 of those last games against FBS opponents. So kind of like the Michigan-Iowa game we talked about in another video, and check that out, is, Arizona State can't get in a shootout here. They just don't have the offense to do it. And when you're trying to take a backdoor cover, catching 3.5 touchdowns, you want some offensive backdoor cover potential. And I just think USC can run away with this game. And getting back to the national title picture, USC does have incentive to run the score up, because they're kind of on the outside looking in for that 4th spot. And after a non-impressive 17-14 win, at least maybe to the voters, I thought it was an impressive win because I thought Oregon State's a good team. But to the voters, maybe not. To the computers, maybe not. I do think USC has incentive to win this one big, and they can lay it on if they want.
As Steve mentions, you not only get the edge on the USC-Arizona State tilt right here, but we've got videos posted on the Michigan channel, Iowa channel, Nebraska, and others. So please check out Steve's selections on the other channels and his under-the-radar selection, which is exclusive on Patreon. You see it on the ticker below. Join us as you get your Discord link to talk college football 24/7, 365, and also get Steve's under-the-radar selection each week. Steve, we appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.